the daughter of someone that we lost many years ago, Paris Jackson, is breaking her silence on her troubled past in the February 2017 issue of Rolling Stone. The late Michael Jackson's only daughter, she's now 18, is opening up about how she has learned to cope with things like depression, sexual assault, as well as cyberbullying. And she really lays it all out there, talking about a suicide attempt, trying to kill herself at the age of 15 years of age, depression, drug addiction. She mentioned sexual assault at the age of 14 that she by a complete stranger that she didn't tell anyone about. She talks about being normal as a child, but she also interestingly brought up in the article that she thinks that her dad was murdered, quite frankly, that this was maybe done on purpose. And it's a fascinating
theory, and that's not really the topic here, but could you imagine growing up as the daughter of Michael Jackson, the limelight that she was thrown into, and how do you go about having somewhat of a normal life? I mean, it's a challenge.
And most fail at it, although I think she's emerged from this. After the 3-strike rule, she tried to kill herself 3 times, and then she had to go into a mandatory rehab, and she seems to have emerged from that rehab stronger and focused and happy and determined to make this life a good one with purpose and meaning. It's really quite beautiful to read some of her words in the article. But sure, her life was incredibly cloistered. Remember, he used to bring them out wearing masks whenever they went in public because he didn't want them to be in the limelight. So she's thrust in the limelight after being like sort of agonizingly in this cloistered world that she calls normal.
Look at this. I mean, just an entourage of paparazzi chasing them wherever they go, and she's covered up, and I can't imagine.
But if there's a blessing here, is that she went through a lot of these trials and tribulations. You mentioned the 3-strike rule, the attempts at suicide at the age of 15, and now at 18 years of age, she truly has a maturity about her and seems to be in a place of self-awareness. And I think that can be very hard, as you mentioned, for any child growing up under the microscope. Certainly any child of Michael Jackson's will be under the microscope in many ways for the rest of their lives. But I love how she is able, at 18 years of age, to come out now as a woman and say, this is my life, and this is what I want to do with my life. It's a really cool thing.
Acknowledge a lot of things. I mean, does a tribute to her dad in the form of tattoos. She has like 50+ tattoos, a lot of which were meant to cover up track marks.
Track marks and cutting. She was a self-injury, self-mutilator. But one of the tattoos I love, so apparently, as we all know, Michael Jackson considered himself Peter Pan, hence Neverland. And he called her Tinkerbell. So the tattoo under her clavicle there says faith, trust, and pixie dust. It's very sweet. I think she won't regret that tattoo.
And comes to her the defense of Michael in a number of ways. I mean, says no way that he was a child molester, that my brothers and I were around him all the time, and we just say emphatically no to that. And an interesting perspective on all of Michael's plastic surgery, that he was being dissected all the time about his appearance so much that it pushed him to
alter his appearance. But she gets it now because she calls herself the victim of online trolls dissecting her appearance. So she has this empathy toward her father that she never probably understood until now, and it makes perfect sense why he went through the operations, she says.
And has reunited with her biologic mother, who Michael had carry his sperm to conceive
and
his
she
kids.
puts some rumors to rest about that too, because she looks awfully white, and so there's questions as to whether or not he's truly her father. And she and her brother Prince are both like, what does it change your life? Because it doesn't change mine. He's my father.
Well, and at this stage, we wish nothing but the best to all of Michael's kids. I thought it was also cool how she mentions that her dad visits her in her dreams. She feels as though he is with her. We've talked on the show often about how powerful dreams are, and it's just kind of an interesting finale to that story. She opened up about her attempts at suicide, and we just want to throw out there, if you or anyone you know are contemplating suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Paris Jackson's story, if nothing else, shows that you can get help.